Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Punk Rock Review, home of a bunch of opinionated crap you don't care about, also the home of the feedback you provide that we don't care about, keeps us on an even playing field, and we like that. Real quick shout out to our sponsor. Well, we were hopping around, no sponsors here, couldn't find one. We're usually good at finding stuff, like eggs. Anyhow, moving straight into it today. Today, of course, after we present our credentials, because we are professional gamers, today we'll be talking about a game that's been out for not all too long at all, of course, but today we are talking about the one and only Hellblade 2 Senua's Sacrifice. That's right, so Hellblade 2, man, this one just came out on the Game Pass. If no one wants to just go and drop however much it costs and such, we heard it was like, I don't know, 40, 50, 60 bucks, who cares? Whatever, you gotta pay extra if you're not already a member of the Game Pass perks and such. So, needless to say, the game's out, man, and for anyone who is a fan of the first Hellblade, man, if you dug the gameplay, if you dug the audio, if you dug the concept, if you dug the franchise as its own entity, man, and everything that it was, kind of involved, hand in hand in its inception, creation, and execution, man, then look no further than what Hellblade 2 has to offer, because it's going to take a lot of the stuff, the graphics improved, the audio, on par, dare we say, even as decent as they are, and really good as they are. The audio in the first one was probably just a little bit better, because it was your first time really experiencing that type of audio gameplay implemented in a third-person, title that you're navigating around and such. At least for us, it was one of those heavy-duty kind of first audio utilizations, man, that really set the game on that next little tier. Even if in the first Hellblade the gameplay was a little lacking, the puzzle solving was a little lacking, the graphics are gorgeous. Man, that audio element really set it above a lot of other, titles, audios, and things of that nature, man, to have it stick out in players' minds, such as ourselves, and really enjoy what the game had to offer, even with its limitations. Now, with Hellblade 2, man, the audio might be a little less, but everything else, graphics improved, game, fighting mechanics and such, swordplay improved drastically, talk about some smooth animation, smooth, visuals and everything that you can see when someone's swiping kind of their sword at you, exactly where the blade is and when you need to dodge or when you need to, kind of parry your block or whatever. Man, it's beautifully, beautifully done. The issue that Hellblade 2 has, man, is that it's either A, not long enough, or B, there's not enough of the combat gameplay within it. Now, the story, we think, on Hellblade 2 is brilliant. Dare we say, it is a phenomenal retelling, reimagination of all sorts of the mythical kind of, we don't even want to say mythical, but of incorporating concepts like the Nephilim and, giants and, races from times before or whatever, like the Anunnaki or whatever kind of thing, man. What a brilliant implementation of concepts, okay, because we're not saying it's an exact replication, but a beautiful interpretation of scenarios, even if it's not interpreted from Nephilim or whatever, and they're just like, fuck it, let's add some giants to the game or some shit. What a brilliant, brilliant way to do it, man, to show that, mankind was kind of at, their odds with, the giants and things of that nature, and, they were those big, unstoppable, indestructible forces. Well, depending on what, canon you follow, or what historical events you choose to look into or follow, or anything like that. But supposedly, when Nephilim and giants and such were around, if they were around, we're not saying one way or another, teach their own interpretations, beliefs, views, opinions, if they were around, man, and if mankind had to deal with them, make a game. Hell, fucking, they did it. And Hellblade 2 does a great job at reimagining that story. So the story elements, they're great. The graphics are stellar, and the swordplay, the fighting is great. Now, where Hellblade 2 takes a huge misstep and a massive dive down is in their puzzle elements. Now, let's, kind of be clear. The puzzle elements in Hellblade 1 were not in overly enthralling or engrossing or engaging and everything like that. The puzzle elements in Hellblade 2 are the exact same as that. However, they're actually a little bit worse, because whereas in Hellblade 1, you were kind of navigating, woods and forests and paths, at least from what we remember, man, where you're doing, like, the puzzly areas and such. There might have been some, like, broken towers and shit or whatever, like, broken down houses or structures that you had to climb on one or two of the puzzles in the first one and such. But those existed, man, and they were fine, and they fit the gameplay, and they broke up the combat, which was decent to good, but there was more of it, we feel, in the first game and whatnot, and even if there wasn't, looking back, it feels like there was more of it back in the, first Hellblade. But the puzzles themselves have dropped to such a ridiculously simplistic execution in their solving that it's like they were forced in there, like, okay, shit, guys, this game's looking great. Okay, we recorded the audio, fantastic. Hey, how's that swordplay looking? Hey, stellar, Mike, great job on that programming. It looks phenomenal. All right, Brad, you're on puzzles, how's that going? And Brad's like, fucking puzzles? I thought I was getting coffee for everyone. All right, fucking Brad, A, you fucked up my order, so that shit is horrible. And B, no, you're on puzzles, dude. Where the fuck are the puzzles in the game? And Brad's like, oh yeah, man, the fucking puzzles? Yeah, I've been working on those for a while. They're good to go, man. I got them all over the place in, like, the first, kind of 3 chapters and such. I got, like, one on this level. Well, Brad, where's the layout for it? Well, there's not really a layout. I kind of just added it to this, part of the map that, Steve in, map making already programmed and created. So I took, everything that he did, and I asked him, hey, make this part yellow, this part yellow, this part yellow. Yeah, fucking there's a puzzle. And then I put up a smoke gate that you can't go through until you solve these puzzles and stuff. And they're like, all right, Brad, fucking, if you say so, dude, but everyone else has been working really late and staying and working like fucking doubles and overtime and everything like that, trying to get this done. And Brad's like, yeah, well, fucking, I've been in line at Starbucks trying to get everyone's fucking coffee orders, but how can I tell you that? So, fucking Brad ends up, passing it off, and they're like, Brad, these are the fucking puzzles you added to the game. They kind of suck. And Brad's like, well, how's that coffee? Like, it's fucking incorrect. It's wrong. Again, fucking, I write it down for you, you still get it wrong. The puzzles are a little lacking, man, compared to how they were in the first one, even though they were simplistic in nature. They seem to have got dumbed down and even simplified more so, in the second one. And that really does detract, deter, and hold back the second one from becoming a great, experience that is superb to other great experiences. Because dare we say, whilst the combat, there's not enough of it, the story, we would like more of it, but the story is actually one of the only things that we would say, holds this one, as still a decent experience to go through. The linear design and stuff we can live with. Man, it's that downing of the dumbing down of the puzzle elements, and then the length of this one that really just kind of sink it to that level of like, man, did I really enjoy this experience and this playthrough? And for us, looking back, we absolutely did, but we can't look back on it with the loving kind of feelings that we had for the first Hellblade when we looked and, kind of saw and experienced that one for the first time. It was remarkable. The graphics for the time and everything, and even still, are amazing. What the, even original Xbox there, Xbox One. We've been around for a while, so it's like, fuck, man, there's already been like 100 Xboxes. We comes from, Nintendo, well, fucking, we come from Atari. But, fucking Nintendos and stuff, that all the crazy kids got. Man, Hellblade 2, they do a lot right, like we said, but they miss the mark on that final feeling and capturing that within the player, and that's what's going to hold this one back. If you're a member of Game Pass and you played Hellblade 1 or you haven't played Hellblade 1, hell, it is absolutely stellar to be on Game Pass. Now, the problem that you're going to start running into, and that even Microsoft is going to start running into, is that the quality of the games they put out seemingly is going to stop being that kind of first-party, awe-inspiring, industry-defining and changing game. Okay? So it looks like Microsoft is going to be missing the mark on that one, here and there. It looks like they're not going to, really be able to crank out their Baldur's Gate 3, because in essence, that's what Hellblade 2 kind of should have been. It's they're defining Baldur's Gate 3. That's what Starfield should have been, a defining Baldur's Gate 3. But these games are not. Now, these games live up to and surpass my expectations of what I would want on, let's lay this out. They are acceptable for my expectations of what I desire and want on a game streaming platform, okay? Yes, I desire and want the AAA, state-of-the-art, Baldur's Gate 3s, drop after drop after drop after drop. But with Game Pass, you're not going to get that. With how their studios are cranking out their games, it seems you're not going to get that. With their closures of different studios and their moving around of their proprietary, IPs and things of that nature, man, it looks like they're kind of still getting their bearings on what direction they want to go or head to or take. However, man, the games like Hellblade 2 that hit Game Pass make Game Pass entirely worth it, even with the drawbacks that Hellblade 2 has. Its length, sure, it's a drawback. Its puzzles, yeah, those just straight up suck. Let's be honest. The puzzles in Hellblade 2 are horrible. They're not designed well. They are, yes, implemented, re-implemented from the first one, but the first one, it worked. The second one, I mean, they could have reworked it and implemented it, but honestly, if anything, it's more of a detraction from gameplay. I would have rather no puzzles or very minimal puzzles and stuff. You could have some dumb puzzles, whatever. Yeah, fucking Brad, you're a fucking puzzle maker. You spend the whole time making one fucking puzzle for the end of the game, or the beginning of the game, or the middle of the game. I don't care where you put it in the game, but just make fucking one, make it better, and then instead of all the other shit, add more combat. Add another group of 2 or 3 people you gotta fight at this point of the level, this point of the level, this point of the level, and this point of the level. Then get to Brad's little stupid fucking, puzzle. And you're like, here, Brad, I solved it. And then Brad's like, I bet it was hard. You're like, no, Brad, it wasn't hard. It was hard to sit through and fucking wait for me to have the character do the animations to solve it. And then, you do all that, man. Whatever. But games of this quality and this caliber are stellar for Game Pass. And so it's one of those, win-lose situation. You win if you're a Game Pass member because you get a great experience in Hellblade 2. You lose if you're a individual gamer who is a huge Hellblade fan and you spend full price on a, release like this, if you don't get your experience from it that you want to derive. Now, dare we say, with as engaging as the story was, as fluid and remarkable, we can't emphasize that enough, even though it's basic, as fluid and remarkable and graphically perfection that the combat is, it's just so limited. There's not enough of it. Man, those elements, though, the story especially, the audio narration, it is a great experience. It's not a great game. It's a good game. It's a very good game in a lot of elements and regards. It's a phenomenal experience, but it's going to be one of those, you know, hit or miss things. Maybe you're not interested in giants and humans fighting. Maybe you don't want to go through the limited gameplay elements to seek out that story. We totally understand that. We totally get it. For us, we have an interest in that area. We love any of that kind of ancient history and whatnot that can be brought about or surmised. And then if we get to actually play through one of those, you know, kind of timelines and stuff like that, that's great, man. We loved it. We loved our experience with it. We loved the game. It's just unfortunately not a phenomenal great game. So, you know, you kind of take it for what it is, man. Hellblade 2, hats off to you, man. In this case, waggle the ears or some shit. Because you really did put together a stellar experience. It just sucks that you couldn't get everyone to crank out. Brad, we're looking at you. You couldn't get everyone to, you know, crank out the same amount of work and time and effort into the experience. And, you know, that goes for everyone under Brad, too. We're looking at you, puzzles. You guys pretty much fucked this shit up. It's the puzzles that hold it back. And combat, you should have pushed. You should have pushed and said, man, can we please add these extra enemies here? Just 6 more enemies on a level. 9 more enemies on a level. Holy shit. Holy shit. You're going to increase the gameplay, you know, 3 minutes of battle, 2 minutes of battle, 2, 4, 6, 8 minutes a level. You're going to have an extra hour of gameplay just off fighting the fucking peons. And fighting the peons is awesome. The game fighting mechanics are awesome. Why didn't you use those more? Oh, fucking hire us, Ninja Theory, and fucking, you know, well, we freelance, so, you know, pay us, Ninja Theory, and we can fucking save this from happening to you again by telling you, tell Brad to fucking fuck off with the coffees. Sit at your desk, Brad. It's now in the janitor's office. And you just fucking clean up when the rest of the staff leaves. Hellblade 2, what can be said about this one? It's a good old-fashioned G, man. It's a good game. We enjoyed it. Unfortunately, it's not a great game. But there are elements of it that, to us, are great. Fucking Brad. Have a good one, you probably didn't. We'll catch you next time. Probably won't.